Hello, generals. It's that time again. We are now on our way to taking the U.S. History EOI. It will occur on tomorrow and Friday. Now, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to all of those who took the Algebra 1 test for the last couple of days. You absolutely knocked it out of the ballpark. So high five to you guys. Job well done. If you see anybody who took the Algebra 1 test for the last couple of days, give them a high five because they did a terrific job. Now, there's retakes today. So those of you who took the retake, great job to you too. Remember, keep coming to school. Don't miss anything for these next few weeks. It's going to be a blast as we roll out the end of the year. Now, we're going to switch gears and in some general time look at the U.S. history. And particularly now we're going to do a World War II overview. And tomorrow we're going to play just a really fun sort of trivia game with U.S. history. So, this lesson to us is brought to us by Status Firm. They want to let us know that as an introduction, this is World War II. Was a global military conflict that resulted in the deaths of over 70 million people. Opposing nations making up the Allies and the Axis powers battled for control for almost 6 years. This overview will provide a look at the causes of the war and the powers involved, which is a huge part of the U.S. history. Now, you should be able to analyze and explain the reasons for and results of historical events, situations, and changes. Identify change and continuity. Analyze the nature of conflict and cooperation. Identify powers. Understand and analyze the timeline of major events. And analyze and compare the reasons. Let's skip to our brainstorming session. Okay, go ahead for a few moments. Go back to your notebook file and write on the actual notebook file all the things you do know about World War II. Excuse me. And then unpause the video when you're done. If you want, really, you can follow just the notebook file and do all of the activities on the screen. Or again, if you don't have the notebook file, you can follow along with me on the video. Okay, now we're going to watch a video to find out information about the causes and effects of World War II. Okay, again, you can go to the notebook file or you can listen here on my screen.
World War II was a global military conflict that began in 1939 and lasted almost 6 years until 1945. It all started when two powerful and aggressive nations, Germany and Japan, began using force to invade other nations. These countries and their partner Italy were known as the Axis powers. In Western Europe, the dictator of Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, created a huge army and began using military force to take over regions of neighboring countries, claiming they were really part of Germany. At first, other European countries let Hitler get away with it, hoping to avoid war. But when Hitler invaded Poland on September 1st, 1939, enough was enough. And France, Great Britain, and the Commonwealth countries, including Canada and Australia, all declared war on Germany. These countries, and those who would join the fight later, became known as the Allies. But mere declarations of war didn't stop Hitler, and soon his armies had invaded almost all of Western Europe, including France, with little or no resistance. Now only Britain stood between Hitler and complete victory in Western Europe. However, instead of invading immediately, Hitler sent his warplanes to bomb England's major cities, factories, and military bases in an attempt to destroy Britain from the air. But Britain's small but heroic air force fought back, and eventually the German Air Force gave up trying. With Western Europe almost defeated, Hitler's armies began pushing east into the Soviet Union, and by the end of 1941, German troops had almost reached Moscow, the capital of Russia. Meanwhile, on the other side of the globe, the tiny but powerful nation of Japan was invading countries in the Pacific and Southeast Asia under the leadership of Emperor Hirohito. The only military force in the Pacific that was strong enough to stop Japan was the United States. But for the first 2 years of the war, America had remained neutral, preferring to stay out of the fight. That all changed on December 7th, 1941, when Japan attacked the U.S. Navy base at Pearl Harbor. The Japanese mistakenly thought the attack would intimidate the United States into letting Japan do whatever it wanted in the Pacific, but they were wrong, and America immediately declared war on Japan and on Japan's ally, Germany.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
It was now officially a world war. And over the next 4 years, with the military and industrial muscle of the United States behind them, the Allies fought back. Hundreds of ships carrying thousands of troops, ammunition, tanks, and planes risked being sunk by German submarines as they made the precarious voyage across the Atlantic Ocean to support the war effort and to begin taking Europe back from the Nazis. And in Russia, the once almost defeated Soviet army had endured the worst the enemy forces could throw at them, and managed to raise an enormous army with millions of soldiers and thousands of tanks to fight back against the Germans. June 6, 1944, became known as D-Day, the day the Allies launched a massive invasion force across the English Channel to reclaim France and the rest of Europe, while the Soviet army began pushing Germany back from the east. There was nowhere for the German army to escape, and depleted of men, equipment, and ammunition, it was only a matter of time until the Allies defeated Germany. The Soviets were the first to reach the German capital of Berlin, and Germany officially surrendered on May 8, 1945. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, after many decisive naval battles, Japan was in retreat and the Americans were winning the war. World War II officially ended after the United States dropped the world's first atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These unthinkably powerful weapons almost completely destroyed both cities, and tens of thousands of civilians were killed or wounded, while tens of thousands more were poisoned by harmful radiation. The terrible casualties caused by this terrifying new weapon convinced the Japanese to surrender immediately, avoiding a long, drawn-out war that Japan could not win. This would be the first and last time that atomic weapons would ever be used in war. By the end, more than 70 million people died in World War II, making it the deadliest conflict in human history.
Okay, I hope you took great notes. Let's go ahead and do some activities. Again, go ahead and you can go back to the notebook file and actually click on each button to reveal the question, and then you're going to discuss it with your partner and then just share with the class. If you don't have a notebook file, you can follow along with me. So here's our first question. What beliefs did the Axis have to justify their reason for invading Western Europe? First, again, discuss with a partner, then talk about it with the whole class. Unpause the video when you're done. Okay, here's the second question. How do you think the war impacted the families, women, and children who stayed at home? Again, discuss with a partner, then share with the class. How might society be different today if the Axis powers had won the war? Again, pause the video, discuss with a partner, and then share with the class. How did the outcome of World War II change the world, and how does it continue to affect us today? Again, pause the video, discuss with a partner, then share with the class. Okay, our last one. What do you think of the phrase war is necessary, is a necessary evil? Do you believe that World War II was justified? Are other wars justified? Again, discuss with a partner and then share with the class. Okay. You want to try to identify the event that corresponds with each date on this timeline. Again, discuss as a class before you actually click on the year to reveal what the real event was. Unpause the video when you're done if you're going to use the complete notebook file. Otherwise, you can follow along with me to reveal the activity. Good job if you said Adolf Hitler becomes ruler of Germany. Again, pause the video and discuss each year before revealing the answer. Pause the video. Okay, pause the video to discuss June 1941. Again, pause the video. Pause the video. Pause the video. Pause the video. Okay, now we have a sorting activity. Again, you can go back to the notebook file and you can actually sort the participants into Allied and Axis powers, and then reveal the answer when you're done. Otherwise, you can actually stay here, pause the video, talk as a group of which goes where, and then check. Okay, let's check our answer. Good job if you had allies on the left and these allies on the left and these Axis powers on the right. Okay, now for a quick quiz. Again, if you have the smart response systems, you can actually answer in your remote. If you do not, you can follow for the answers on this screen, or you can click the answers in the smart response tab if you actually at least have the response icon on your desktop. Excuse me. Pause the video when you're done answering this question. You got it. The answer is C. Okay, again, unpause the video when you're done. You got it. The answer is D. You got it. The answer is A. And last question. You got it. The answer is B. Great job, Generals. Again, we'll pick it up tomorrow with a fun trivia game about U.S. history. Have a great day.